What if the most valuable award in the world wasn't heavy, shiny, or displayed behind glass, but light enough to hold in two hands and heavy enough to fill a heart? Because today, Jin reminded everyone that some victories aren't measured in numbers, they're measured in love. It started quietly. No stage lights, no thunderous applause. Just a box that finally arrived after crossing time, distance, and countless hearts. Inside, it was an award made by armies. And when Jin held it, he didn't talk about success, he didn't talk about records, he talked about gratitude. This precious award made for me by our armies has finally arrived. Thank you, I will cherish it. Simple words, but words that carried years of waiting, believing, and staying. On January 22nd, Jin shared 2 photos on Weverse, and in seconds, the world stopped scrolling. In the images, he's dressed impeccably. A clean-cut jacket, perfectly balanced pants, polished shoes. Effortless elegance. The kind of presence that doesn't need to shout. Yet what truly captured everyone wasn't his outfit, or even his visuals, it was his expression. That smile wasn't practiced, that joy wasn't staged. It was the smile of someone receiving something irreplaceable. Because this award didn't come from an institution, it came from people who waited through silence, from people who counted days, from people who believed, even when they could only believe from afar. And to understand why this moment matters so much, you have to go back. When Jin completed his military service on June 12, 2024, the world expected him to rest, to disappear for a while, to breathe. Instead, the very next day, he did something no one expected. He personally suggested a fan meeting. He personally hosted it. And he even prepared a hug event. Not because he had to, but because reconnecting came first. That wasn't a comeback. That was a reunion. From that moment on, Jin didn't slow down. He stepped forward. 2 solo albums followed, each one reflecting growth, vulnerability, and quiet strength. Charts around the world responded, but Jin never let the numbers speak louder than the people behind them. Then came the tour, Run Sok Jin Tour. Not just a tour, but a journey he chose to walk face-to-face with fans. 18 performances, 9 cities, weeks of travel, preparation, exhaustion, and emotion. And yet, night after night, he gave everything. Soon, the industry took notice. Polestar placed his tour in the top 20 global concert tours in the United States, a record-breaking achievement for an Asian soloist. Billboard followed, ranking him on the top tour monthly chart for July and August, once again setting a new standard. But behind every statistic was something deeper. The way he held notes steady even in the most demanding songs. The way his voice stayed strong when emotions surged. The way he spoke to the crowd, not as an idol, but as someone speaking to people he truly knows. When fans asked for encore concerts, Jin hesitated. His schedule was already overwhelming. He had openly said it would be difficult. But difficulty has never been stronger than his bond with fans. So he said yes. At Incheon Moonhak Stadium, under wide-open skies, Jin returned for encore performances that felt like promises kept. 2 nights where voices blended into one, where memories were made, knowing they would last forever. Critics around the world couldn't ignore it. Rolling Stone awarded the tour a perfect 5-star rating, calling Jin a truly one-of-a-kind, unparalleled entertainer. Forbes praised his wide vocal range and precise high-note control, highlighting his stability even in the most complex moments. Paris Match spoke of his humor, warmth, and commanding stage presence, calling it the perfect gift to fans. And when the tour was captured on film, Run Sok Jin Tour the movie, fans filled theaters across the globe, reliving every breath, every laugh, every tear. But even with sold-out venues, even with global praise, even with records rewritten, this award, made by fans, stands apart. Because it carries fingerprints instead of signatures. Because it carries time instead of titles. Because it carries love instead of prestige. Beyond music, Jin continues to show up in ways that feel personal. Weekly episodes of Run Sok Jin released consistently for 36 episodes. Award-winning variety appearances that show his humor and sincerity. Moments that say, I'm still here. I'm still with you. So when Jin says, I will cherish it, he isn't talking about an object. He's talking about a promise. A promise to remember who stood beside him when stages were empty. A promise to value connection over applause. A promise to keep walking together. And maybe that's why this moment feels so powerful. Because in a world full of trophies, charts, and headlines, The most meaningful award is the one made from hearts, and Jin knows it.